some of you have just put your hands up. You've already made that decision. You know what you're doing. The sites are pretty live and ticking over, and you're driving traffic. Okay. The biggest thing that stopped me from getting involved in this was was my own perception of what it takes to compete in the space. But really, you've just got to start, choose a product. Done. Okay? So if you commit to doing that, if you've not already done that, do that soon, today, before you go home. And then step 2, it's really this simple. Do some geographic keyword research. And I'm not going to go into the details of this. This has been covered in many places. Just Google geo keyword research and you'll see plenty of blog posts and information out there. So I won't repeat that. And again, I just want you to get that psychology freed in your head that this is actually not complicated. This is not rocket science. It's very simple. It's just people like me have made it sound very complicated. Okay, so you've done some geo research, you've picked the product, you know what the keywords are and the search volumes in whatever territory, whether it be a South American country or a Scandinavian country or France or anyway, Europe, Asia, wherever. Okay, and the next step, you decide on the territory. Okay, now unless you've got a big budget, I'd keep away, and this is all about shoestring. This is pretty much what I did. Don't go near the UK unless you're just going to go super niche. But there's money to be made and easy rankings to be had, and this all came about from a test. I wanted to know just how soft these markets were. Theoretically, I could understand, I could see what was going on in the space, I could see the competitors, I could see that the SERPs weren't packed with major operators. There were one or two, but there's a lot of opportunity. So choose a territory that's soft. Potentially Scandinavia, so Finland, Denmark, Norway, they're nice territories. South America. The previous session talked a lot about the territories. But go somewhere, pick somewhere soft, a soft market. Now here's a trick. If you can pick a soft market, which the native language uses accents, I'll show you a little trick that makes life much easier. So by that I mean the diacritical characters, the circles over the A's in Scandinavian languages, or the accents on the letters in Spanish or German, or various other languages that use special characters. So pick a territory, ideally one where there's the use of diacritical characters, and then pick a keyword. Again, you know what the keywords are, and it's so simple. This is it. This is fourth step. Pick a keyword, and that keyword will be determined by the popularity of your findings from your research from the previous step, where we looked at the keyword research using Google to identify where there's opportunity. Okay, so we've got step 4. We've done that. You pick a keyword. And be bold. If you're going after a market that's a soft market, then don't be scared. Don't go after the 3-term phrases, such as the equivalent to play online slots or play casino games. Go after a nice, chunky keyword. And try this out, because you can do this on such a cheap budget. Okay, buy a domain. So you've done your keyword research, you know what you're going after, you know what you're going after, buy a domain. Okay, now I'm not affiliated with these guys, but that's who I use. They allow me to search all the TLDs for any domain that I'm interested in, and they provide a great service. They also manage IDN, international domain names, with those funny characters, which we'll get onto shortly. And this is just what I did. And as I say, it was just a test. So look at this. This is a result from the Norwegian poker SERP for poker par net. It means poker on the net. You see the accent over the A? That in the domain name, that is actually represented by the domain below. www.xn-poker-p-net-blah blah. That's called Punycode. This is how international domain names are translated and presented on the web. As a domain name, it looks horrid, okay? But when it's re-encoded back into Punycode, or it's Punycode encoded back, it spells the word perfectly with the accent, and that's how it looks in Google. Now, the beauty of this is that it's wide open. There's so much opportunity in using accents in characters. For instance, here's another example. That one's obviously gone. But Casino Parnet, again, it's Punycode encoded. You can buy these 50 euros for 2 years. It's cheap. But Google loves them. In certain countries and in certain languages, culturally, people use the accents when they search. Germans always use the umlauts when they search. Scandinavians use their accents, their diacritical characters on their keyboard when they search. The French, less so. In fact, the French are highly unlikely to use the accents when they search, from the data I've seen. But the Germans, Scandinavians, they use the accents when they search, and the results from a query with the accent is distinctly different to the results from a query where the accent isn't included. So this opens up opportunities for exact match domain matching for SEO purposes. As you can see, these guys have been pretty smart. Casino Parnet with the accent, it's ranking page 1 for that phrase. And there's just a reference to a page where you can get the translate the Punycode, encode and decode the phrases with the accents. Okay, this is I don't normally share my own personal stuff, but I thought I would on this case. This is something I bought there's the date, look there, there's the 29th of the 6th. I've not used this domain, but as you can see, the domain was free. casinoparnetet.dk. That means casino on the net. It's a nice phrase. And the .org. And I also got parnetet.org. .org, like .net and .com. So, as you can see, that's pretty cheap. Exact match domain, there's a lot available. So I was just saying, .org, .net, .com, .co, there are a few others, are neutral. That means they are geo-neutral, which means you can geo-target them to any country. You can geo-target them to multiple countries. A .dk is obviously specific to Denmark. So what I did was there reserve the parnetet.org. And again, that was 50 euros for 2 years. But what's going on there will be poker.parnetet, casino.parnetet. Any subdomain can be used in conjunction with the domain to still create an exact match, keyword match against your subdomain structure. So for the price of one domain, you can cover off all products from one domain. Parnetet.org, that's specific to Denmark because of the language. Parnet in Norway, and another variation of Parnetet with a second accent for Sweden. Finland's slightly different again. But I'm just kind of looking at Scandinavia here just to demonstrate the point. So as you can see, that's not a massive investment. That's pretty straightforward. So the next thing, get hosting. If you've not already got hosting, just get hosting. And it's cheap. £2.50 a month. you can get hosting for. You can even get free hosting. I'm sure someone would lend you some server space if it was just to get up and running quickly and on a shoestring budget. So what have we spent so far? Not a lot, just over 50 euros. Get a logo, or do your own, or don't bother. Just use the default WordPress theme. I use a guy called Malbar Design. He's great. I paid $199, and I'd recommend this guy. I'm not affiliated with him, but he's a great guy, and I recommend his work. But you don't need it. If you want to be up and running with a new product in a new territory, you don't need it. Get the site designed, or don't bother. Just use a premium theme. I'd recommend using a premium theme and a theme that doesn't have external links in the footer or hidden links, so check the code carefully. Because a lot of the links, a lot of the themes you'll see on the various WordPress and Drupal and Joomla CMS theme sites are all kind of got hidden casino links or farmer links. Or get a theme made, or use a default. When I started this site, we just launched a WordPress installation. It took about 5 minutes. Put a page of content up and stuck some links at it. Okay, get your site built, or use a Fantastico installation where you just do pretty much a single click, specify a database, and you're up and running with a Drupal content management system or a WordPress content management system. And you can be up and running within minutes, again, at no cost. Then write some content. Now, if you are doing if you're launching a site outside of your own territory, your own country, in a language that isn't your native language, then you should get someone to write this for you, either from Elance or from Odesk. Or, if you don't want to pay money on content and you want someone local to help you out with this, do a joint venture. You know, keep the P&L and share the profit. That's what I do. So it gives me scalability to operate as an affiliate in other countries without the requirement to have staff in those countries, just partners. And it's the most efficient way of doing it, again, on a budget. And then we get to the interesting bit. So far, just to break free of this limitation or whatever it is that may be stopping you, if that is the case, of getting stuck in, we're up and running now with a WordPress installation, with some content. There's maybe a joint venture in place. It's cost about less than 60 euros all in. Now you need some links. Now this is the bit that usually puts people off. This is the bit that's really key. The on-site optimization, like the page optimization, is really quite straightforward. There's been so many blog posts written about it. I'll just quickly cover it for those of you who are unsure. You need the keyword in the title tag. You need the keyword in the heading tag. You need the keyword to appear in the content. You need the page to be ideally well written for usability reasons, so people don't click back and adversely impact signals that get sent via Chrome or Google Analytics and impact bounce rates. But that's all easy. You could teach anyone to do that. If anyone's got any questions about on-page specifically, then feel free to email me, paul@mediaskunkworks.com, and I'd be happy to answer that. But you just got to search Google for on-page SEO or Google ranking factors, and you'll find enough information out there to solve that particular issue. Now, the big thing, as is always, is getting links. And there are many ways to do this. As I said earlier, .orgs, .nets, .coms are all geo-neutral. They're not tied to any country. There are two things you can do. You can either go into Webmaster Tools and specify a location, so a country, a region. You can buy a server or rent a server in that location. Unnecessary. Links are what Google needs. Links are all that Google needs to determine which country, which SERP index that site should rank in. My sites are all hosted in the UK. One, they rank overseas. They're all on neutral domains. and they're in the foreign language, the correct language, but they're all hosted in the UK, and I've never once bothered to set the Webmaster Tools geo-targeting option. So all this talk about needing to be all the talk about needing to be specifically listed in a particular country, or rather, sorry, hosted in a country, is just a myth. Hands up who actually hosts their sites overseas in those countries. Okay. It's best practice, but it's unnecessary. Your links will tell Google where to rank that site. Okay, but links are expensive. So this is the bit where the shoestring kind of goes out the window, because in order to rank, it's expensive, or so the SEO agencies would have you believe. It's actually very easy to get links. And it's very easy to get your site ranking in the countries that I've mentioned, the softer markets. The easiest way is to find local directories. Find local directories, places where you can get free listings. Those markets are so soft, you'll rank for the keywords. Don't target the keywords themselves, target the homepage with the brand name or the domain name. Use the domain name as the link text, target the homepage. Because remember, you bought the domain to match the keywords that you want to rank for. Okay? Now, this sounds crazy in here. So, okay, so it's easy to get those links if you collaborate. And this is something we were talking about this morning, and something I want to just hammer home. You can buy links on tenancy, you end up with recurring fees that come round. When I launched that site, I bought about, well, I don't know, about 100, 200 pounds worth of links. The rest are from swaps, from collaboration, from sharing links. They were free. Only took about 5, 6 links in total, ranked page 1 for a major term. And it was profitable that month. Okay? But by collaborating, and this is something I talked about earlier, I'll skip through it quickly, but this is some old Hindu Sanskrit wisdom. As is the human body, so is the cosmic body. As is the human mind, so is the cosmic mind. As is the microcosm, so is the macrocosm. As is the atom, so is the universe, the Upanishads. Looking at the relationship between the atom and the universe, they're Upanishadic. Same goes for us, affiliates, the industry itself. Okay, collaboration is in our design. We are designed at a cellular level to work with other people collaboratively. And this is what happens when people collaborate. They can rise up into a huge unstoppable force. Okay, more collaboration lately in London. But the point I'm trying to make here is, if you collaborate, you can all share link juice. It's an old idea, but it works. A myth, there was a myth that was spawned about 10 years ago, or probably about 7 years ago, where people said that reciprocal links don't work. That's nonsense. Everyone in here, if they were to reciprocate with other people in here, you would all rise up. You'd become a syndicate. You'd rise up through sharing the link juice. Yes, there was a penalty that was introduced by Google some time ago, but that was for excessive reciprocal linking. The kind of reciprocal linking that was causing directories who were giving links within their directory in exchange for a backlink back. They were hoarding all the page ranks, so Google introduced a penalty. This does not apply to you. Reciprocal links do not cancel each other out. They work. So I'd suggest, and I strongly advise you do this. This is a hashtag for backlink, which I'm trying to encourage people to do so they can all win. And all the people here today, or the people that were here this morning in the session that I gave, I'd like you all to tweet this hashtag with this format. So BAC, obviously because the hashtag was launched at BAC, link, because it's all about the links. list your products and your territories. So BAC link, casino, poker, whatever. Territories, UK, Sweden, Finland, Chile, wherever. But I'd like to encourage you all to right now tweet that before you do anything else. Tweet what you've got available, because there are other people in this room who you can collaborate with to get those links in a way that will not cost you money. And most importantly, it will not cost you money on a recurring annual or 6-monthly basis. Because if you're just in the business of buying links, your external costs are going to rise. But the point I'm trying to make about all this is it's very, very simple. Here's an example of someone from the earlier session. I don't know if he's in this session today, but there's a guy there. He's here at the moment. Go and add him. If you're in the market for bingo links, or bingo mobile UK, he's there and he wants to exchange links with you right now. Okay, so you've got your site rolled out, you've got your links, wait 1.5 weeks. And in these softer markets, I think, like I was, you'll be very, very pleasantly surprised as to how quickly those links will work. As I say, it's all mystified by SEOs for a reason. But I'd like to encourage you to, if you haven't already, just roll the site out. All you need is a 1 page of content. It doesn't have to be a CMS, but you can install a CMS in seconds. 1 page of content, on page done, a few links, leave it, 1.5 weeks later, come back and email me. Tell me how you get on. Because if that site's ranking the way I expect it to be, I'll probably be in the market for doing some link exchanges with you myself. Okay, obviously check the SERPs as well. Check your analytics as well. You pre-find your ranking for other terms. And it's only at this point that you need to add banners and affiliate links. So don't get hung up on the details of having affiliate accounts, negotiating, rev share, CPA. Just get the thing up. One of the most successful travel guys that I've ever met, a guy who runs a tour operator. I asked him how he started out, and it turns out that all he'd done was optimize a page for Amsterdam hotels. The page didn't even have any hotels on it. He couldn't sell any hotels, couldn't promote any hotels. He's now got a huge tour operator business where he ended up contracting hotels, expanding to other regions. 1 page of content. If you just get over that psychological barrier and put it out there, then worry about it later. Week and a half, 2 weeks, come back to it, see where it ranks. I think, as I've said before, you'll be very pleasantly surprised if you're operating in some of those softer territories. Oh, and make money, obviously. Any questions? No questions at all? Yes. Well, do we have a spare mic?
You mentioned SERPs. What are SERPs?
Sorry, the search engine results pages. So the pages that are returned from the query from the search.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
You mentioned the adding the affiliate advertising at the very end, the operator advertising at the very end. But is it safe to assume that, since you're dealing with these soft markets, that there are plenty of operators that are present in all of these places?
In the ones that I looked at, yeah. South America, Scandinavia, there are operators there. Well, some of the countries in Chile, Brazil. There are operators there, but I didn't worry about any of the detail of what we're doing, what we're tracking, where we're linking at that stage. All I was interested in is getting a page that sits on my domain in Google's page 1 for the keyword that I specified. And for that reason, I was happy to address the other issues later on.
Approximately how many articles did you write on your web page?
Sorry?
At the launch, how many articles or content did you write?
One page.
Only one page.
Yeah.
250 words.
About 300 words, I think it was.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, or are we done?
We're done.
I think we're done. Time to go to the bar.